Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Power Rangers Cross Street Fighter Blazing Phoenix Ranger Chun-Li figure from Hasbro. The Lightning Collection continues to kill it with these crossovers, and this is no exception, so let's jump right in. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure is striking, and Hasbro really just took a great design and translated the plastic very, very well. And the first thing you'll definitely notice is just the colors. The blue, absolutely just spot on. The slight difference between the plastic here and the softer plastic, but I mean, again, that's kind of a properties thing. It's very hard to get that exact. But the satiny look of the kind of bottom part of the tunic piece does look nice. Not only that, but the golds just look great. We even got a two-tone gold here at the belt, so you got kind of a slightly darker gold here, and then lined by the slightly brighter gold, pardon me. Then we can see the Morpher, which also has that darker gold on it. Very, very nice. Clean details all around. So we can see even the lines on the pants. Here come down the boots. Just very, very nice all around. Sculpt is spot on. This just looks very, very much like what we saw in both the comics and the short that was released a few years ago. And yeah, just really cool. Then we get the shield. The shield, very ornate. And again, that two-tone gold comes back into it. So yeah, just really nice all around visually. As with Ryu, we get a great loadout of accessories here. And starting off just with the hands, right out of the box, we get a couple of fists. And I will say these are very difficult to get out, especially with the gauntlets here. And you know, that has kind of been the case for a lot of the Lightning Collection female Rangers, and just continues here are just extra difficult because of those. So you will probably have to warm those up. And that will be to replace them with the kind of more splayed out hands, which also look excellent. Then we get a stand, just as we did with Ryu. So our triangle base with pegs for the figure itself, and then the kind of bent rod piece here that just kind of clicks into that. And yeah, you get the ball at the top, and that is to hold the effects. We'll start with the effect that does not require the stand, and that is the kick effect. And we can see there's that little port for the leg. And yeah, just looks really cool for that multi-kick special move that Chun-Li has. Looks fantastic, great shade of blue. Then we get the Phoenix effect, and I think this is just a variation probably on the Kikoken. So we can see that like really cool lightning effect to it as well. And then we get the Kikoken itself, and love the sculpt on this one. It just looks exactly as it should in 3D form. So really, really cool. And yeah, that's accessories. And speaking of that kick effect from the last section, when we talk about articulation, clearly Chun-Li has both the balance and the range to get into that pose, and breaking the whole thing down from top to bottom. First thing of articulation we get actually at the very top of the head is the little tassels here at the top do move, those do rotate, which is excellent because again, that kind of helps you get that dynamicism, pardon me, and that kind of look of flow, and you can definitely get some of the moves just look a little more like actiony, more organic. Then when it comes to the head, we get the same as Ryu, so we got a ball joint at the base of the head, and then we got a separate neck piece, and that's going to bring us with a lot of down, but unfortunately no up, because the exact same as Ryu, just it does not move back enough. And you know, again, I don't know if heat will fix that, but it just kind of doesn't feel that way, and that's a little unfortunate. And it does get you a little bit of tilt. Then we come to the shoulders, and we have our butterfly joint, which is relatively generous here, which is excellent. And we get that hinge and swivel at the shoulder, bringing us into our T. We do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which again, going to kind of run the shield, but we can fold in half. Hinge and swivel at the wrists, all horizontal. Then we get a ball joint here at the diaphragm, so you can get all the way around, come forward, come back, and our neutral. Unfortunately, unlike the other female Rangers in the Lightning Collection, we do not get the ab crunch here, and that's probably because of this belt piece. I'm assuming that's why they made that choice. It's a little sad because obviously we're not going to get as deep a crunch as we do with those other figures. So that is what it is. Then we come to the hips, and we have our drop downs. So come down about that far. We can come out completely into our splits, as we should. Absolutely fantastic. And then we can come forward completely into a front kick. Then we have thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Ooh, pardon me. Coming to about there. We do have boot swivel. And then we got perfect point, a little bit okay forward, and then tons of rocker. So that's Articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here she is with some other Lightning collection, with some Hasbro and some Mattel, with some imports, with some monsters, finally with an articulated Icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valaverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Blazing Phoenix Ranger Chun-Li figure from Hasbro is that this is another kick-ass figure in this subline, and honestly I think between this and Ryu, this kind of indicates that this whole like crossover definitely has the potential to go the distance. We have two figures that come up in both Cammy and Ken, and honestly I kind of hope it goes beyond that, because you know these two figures are fantastic. The other two look great and I can't see them really kind of faltering, knock on wood. But yeah, just lots of potential here and just a great example of two properties that actually mix really well, whether you would have thought so or not. So yeah, I absolutely recommend picking this up, and is available at various online retailers. I'm not sure if this is ever going to show up on retailer shelves, but it might. But in any event, I will have links in the description below to some of my favorite online retailers if you wish to pick this up. So yeah, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, and most importantly, subscribing. And yeah, with all that being said, I hope you take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.